everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Travel Talk, Tips, and Trivia. If you are enjoying these series, please take a second to subscribe.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan. Minasan konnichiwa. Hello everyone. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be teaching you some more phrases in Japanese. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn how to say I do understand and I do not understand in Japanese. First we have I do understand, which is wakarimashita. Wakarimashita. And just like last time when we learned please and thank you, I've written the words both in hiragana, which is the most common form of Japanese writing, and in romaji, so that you can read it aloud to yourself. Wakarimashita. I do understand. Next, we have I don't understand, which is wakarimasen. Wakarimasen. Again, here it is in hiragana, and here it is in romaji. Wakarimasen. I do not understand. Next, Mom is going to give you the next travel tip and trivia.
Okay, today's travel tip is to apply for your passport or renew your passport as far in advance as possible. This is extremely important, and my big advice that I explain at length in this video where I talked about everything you need to know, at least as a US citizen, about passports. Although a friend in the UK told me that a lot of that stuff is very similar to what they have in the UK too. So it's probably very similar to what is true in most countries regarding passports. Take the time to watch that video if you can, because it has a wealth of valuable information about passports, especially if you need to apply for passports for your kids. Just like everything else has been experiencing shortages and delays, passports during the pandemic are also delayed and taking an exceptionally long time to be processed. So especially if you have any travel plan like in 2022, if you haven't already gotten your passport or you need to get your passport renewed, do it now. Do it as soon as possible. And the other thing that I want to remind you is very important is for most countries, and you should just assume that it's all of them, you need to have at least 6 months left before your passport expires to be able to enter that country. So for example, if I want to go to Europe in January, I need to make sure that my passport doesn't expire before probably July. My big key passport advice is do not book a trip that requires a passport until you have that passport, a valid passport, in your hand. Get the passport first, then book the trip, not the other way around, because things can go wrong. You don't want to be in a situation like I talked about in that video where it's time to leave for your trip and you have no passport. If you don't have your passport, you're not going, and you might be out a lot of money if you didn't handle things right. So it's always best to have your passport first before you even make the plans. So my travel tip for this video is apply for or renew your passport as early as possible. Okay, last week's trivia question was, what is the largest country in South America? I'm pretty sure this is true for both population and landmass, but I think the question was specifically for landmass. So hopefully that didn't throw anybody off. But the answer to that question was Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America. I would also like to point out, since we talk about language in this series, that they do not speak Spanish in Brazil. Most of the rest of the countries in South America speak Spanish. There is an exception up in northern South America. French Guiana is part of France, and they speak French. But Brazil, they speak Portuguese. So don't learn a whole bunch of Spanish and think you're going to go to Brazil and be fine. They probably do speak a little bit of Spanish there, but the official language of Brazil is Portuguese. And that goes back to historical colonial times and all the age of exploration and all that. That's a long story, but they speak Portuguese in Brazil. They speak other languages too. There's a whole bunch of tribal and Aboriginal languages in Brazil, but they speak Portuguese in Brazil. So Brazil is the largest country in South America. Today's trivia question is a fun one. How many states in the United States start with the letter M? And I'm just going to tell you right now, M is the most common letter for states in the US to start with. So think about that before you look it up and put your guess in the comments below, and be sure to come back next time to see what the answer to that question is. How many states in the United States start with the letter M? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope that you're enjoying this series. If you are, be sure to give me a like down below. Have a great day, everyone, and safe travels.